Paul Gauguin was one of the most famous post-impressionists. He was born in 1848 in Paris, France, but spent most of his childhood in Peru, and that's where he got his love for exotic places. He moved back to France when he was 7 and stayed there until he was 40, working as a banker, before he decided to become an artist. He loved quiet places, so at first he moved to the countryside, but then all the way to Polynesia. He is most famous for his beautiful paintings of the people and island of Tahiti. He was really influenced by folk art and primitive art, which can be seen with how he simplified his paintings and added very few details. He was also good friends with Pissarro, who taught him all about Impressionism. He liked the simple life and loved to paint people and nature in harmony. In this painting of the island of Tahiti, you can see the palm trees and how he used flat shapes of color that when they worked together almost became a pattern in the background. In this painting, entitled Red Cow, you can see how he used exaggerated color, as obviously cows aren't usually red. Again, in this painting, titled Vision After the Sermon, he used red grass instead of green grass to express emotions. The color is unrealistic, yet it adds to the expressiveness of the painting. So we can say his general style characteristics are that he simplified his work and didn't add too many details. He used bold, exotic colors and exaggerated color to express his feelings. He also used symbolism and painted people and nature in harmony. So now we're going to do our Gauguin styled artworks. You're going to take inspiration from Gauguin, but create your own masterpiece and not just copy one of his works. I decided I wanted to do a camel in a desert scene. Instead of just finding an exact picture, I used Procreate to join two pictures together to start to make the artwork my own. If you don't have Procreate on your iPad, you could also always just use some magazine clippings. For this artwork, I made a graphite transfer. So I used some tracing paper to trace out my image and then went over it again to get the print onto my paper, which just saved me a little bit of time. But you can also just draw out the image as you would normally. I modified mine slightly as I wanted the palm tree to be more curved, like the one I'd seen in one of Gauguin's paintings. I then went over my pencil marks with a black Sharpie, as Gauguin often used thick black outlines around his artworks. And finally we got to the fun bit of adding some colour. I decided to make a red camel, as Gauguin had done a red dog and a red cow. I used marker. As you can see, I'm keeping my colouring lines in the same direction to try and keep the marker nice and neat. I then used exaggerated colour in the background, so some yellow and oranges for the sand dunes and some pink and purple in the sky. I also added some blues to the palm tree, as I had seen another painting of Gauguin's where he had a blue tree.